All right, guys. Wanted to review the last trade I had on Friday. It was an Apple, and so what I did on this trade, definitely I sized down quite a bit here, and I bought a strike that was fairly cheap, or really cheap actually, just because I knew we were getting towards support area, and I want to be very cautious. One, because it's Friday, and anything can happen on Friday, and two, we were near that support area slash resistance area for the SPY. So, either we're going to chop or we're going to have a bounce. But you can see entered. I like to trade Apple with the SPY and the Q because typically Apple mirrors what the SPY and the Q does. Sometimes it mirrors exactly what it's doing, and sometimes it mirrors it a little late. Plus, contracts are a bit cheaper for Apple typically compared to the SPY and the Q as well. But this, for me, started out to be an A plus setup just because um, we had the Apple squeezing, we had the SPY squeezing, and we had the Qs squeezing as well. So this was really just me trusting my setup, and from experience here, just wanted to review this to tell you, hey, if you've got a setup that works, just trust it, right? Um, if it works 8 out of 10 times, 7 out of 10 times, trust your setup and just play your setup how it should be played. Um, anyways, they're all squeezing and now they're all breaking out at the exact same time. Because you can see if I put that dot on Apple, you can see Apple started breaking out slightly before the SPY and slightly before the Q. So I knew if I was going to get an Apple, I was going to have to get out probably a little bit sooner if the SPY and the Q started breaking. But I entered. I entered at 9:38. So I entered right at this candle here. So I entered on the second candle for the Apple, and you can see here that the Qs started breaking out. So that's why I entered, because the Q started breaking out of the squeeze to the downside, and Apple had already started breaking out. So I was expecting a continued movement down. So I ended up entering at 9:38. I was actually up on the trade, and I ended up getting out of the trade at 9:46. So I got out here on this green candle, and you can see if I hover over the candle there, you can see all the Qs was doing was retracing for a lower move down. What kind of got me out, what kind of shook me out is if you look at the cursor that's moving, you can see where the SPY was basing right at that daily level. And it was still breaking out, but it was kind of basing there. So I was a little bit apprehensive on staying in the trade because I was expecting the SPY might make a move back up, and then I realized it was going to move lower once I seen that next candle come in, and it started having some resistance there at that 451 level, and then once again we had another bullish or bearish engulfing candle on the SPY, and it moved lower. Now, if I would have just stayed in the trade and trusted the setup, because we had a breakout, okay, we were having a breakout to the downside in the SPY and the Q, and trusted the trade, then I would have gotten out for some decent profit here, because you can see essentially as we were pulling back, all the Apple was doing, because you can see the SPY was pulling back, the Qs had a pullback, but it was a little bit weaker than the SPY. And then you can see Apple is actually just basing here. So Apple is actually the weakest out of the SPY and the Q. So if I've seen that, I see that now, right? But if you're looking at your chart and you're seeing that Apple's was weakest out of the SPY and the Q when they were pulling back, probabilities was going to probably tell you that it's probably going to go lower before it goes higher. So started basing there, based up. We had that bearish engulfing here on the SPY and on the Q on the breakdown, and then you can see um, once the Qs had that bearish engulfing candle and broke here, opened at 359 and then broke down there. You can see, you could have took profit right around that 171 ish level, and like I said, I entered at 938. So I entered on this candle here around 172, and I could have brought that down, or entered around 172.50 ish. So we would have had a nice little 50-cent move down before you can see the SPY started basing and testing support here, and as well as the Q started basing and testing support. So But like I said, I sized down, bought a contract out of the money, so I had a super small loss and I was still green for the day. So, anyways, with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you got any questions or concerns, you know what to do. Please hit your boy up. Definitely want to grow the channel, so like and subscribe. And hopefully you got your study on today, and hopefully you took A+ setups, 2 mitigated risk, and 3 grew your trading account. Um, anyways, I'll holler at you guys later, and good luck studying up the rest of the day today, and get your rest up. And we will talk next week. Later.